A couple folks that had jumped from the second floor where it appears to be possibly the origin of the fire.
Now at 6 o'clock, people jumping from a southeast Portland apartment building to escape a fire after an explosion. We're going to hear what one resident believes started the whole thing in just a few minutes. Also this morning, school board members in the West Linn Wilsonville School District expected to vote tonight on whether to close several elementary schools in that district. We'll have a preview of tonight's vote coming up in a live report. And our biggest headline of the morning today, the first of several weather impact alert days this week. Heavy rain, winds, all developing throughout the area. Chris McGinnis will join us here in just a moment with a look at how much rain we should be getting. KGW News at Sunrise, the 6 o'clock hour starts right now. Thanks for joining us on this Monday morning. I'm Drew Carney. China Green has the day off. So does Rod Hill. So Chris McGinnis has got the heavy workload this morning, not just doing traffic, but also covering this weather impact alert day. Chris?
And 3 very big weather days coming our way. And you could make the argument 4 as we wait to see what all shakes out by Thursday morning. But specifically, KGW weather impact alert days now through Wednesday for occasionally heavy or moderate to heavy rain, certainly a prolonged period of rain. Occasionally strong wind, and again, the possibility of some down power lines, down power poles, down trees, landslides, and all of that stuff. All of those things are in the cards here, so you need to be prepared for perhaps high water. You need to be prepared for standing water on the roads. You need to be prepared if you lose power here over the next couple of days. That said, a light rain out there right now, but the heavier, steadier rain is just offshore. That's going to be this atmospheric river, if you will be making landfall this morning, and so I do expect the rain to be on the rise, on the increase here across the metro area later this morning. Rose City Sky Camera right now showing that the rain is back to PDX. It's 54 degrees. It's very mild. That's another attribute of this system. Temperatures will be up near 60 degrees later this afternoon. The wind and rain increase as we roll through the day today. We'll keep you posted. I've got your full forecast coming up in just a bit. Let's get you out the door with a look at the roads, and happy to report the roads and the traffic map is all green for now. Of course, a little foggy, a little drippy there at the Sylvan Hill. That's Highway 26. The headlights there representing the eastbound commute. That's getting a little bit busier. The I-5 drive from Clark County also starting to get a little bit busier at the Interstate Bridge. But so far, Drew, no crashes, no unexpected freeway delays.
All right, thank you, Chris. We know weather played a role in this next story from Carnation, Washington. That's a small town about 30 miles east of Seattle. It's also where a tree fell on a car and killed this woman here on your screen. It happened along State Route 203 on Saturday afternoon. Fire officials say wind wasn't very strong at the time, but the ground was saturated.
With all the rain that we've been getting, we get a lot of really soft ground, so any tree can come down at any point. Our boats are ready to go, our swimmers, all of our gear's been checked. We're ready for what's to come.
The boyfriend of the woman who died, by the way, was also in the car when it was hit by the tree. He was airlifted to the hospital with serious injuries. Chris McGinnis will join us here again in just a few minutes with a full look at what we can expect around here weather-wise over the course of the next several days. You can also stay up to date wherever you are by downloading the KGW News app. New overnight, 3 people are in the hospital after a shooting in southeast Portland. This happened just after 9 o'clock last night at Southeast 187th and Stark. Police say all 3 people were shot, but we don't have any updates on their condition this morning as this investigation continues. Detectives are investigating a deadly shooting in Gresham over the weekend. Officers responded to reports of gunshots near West Powell Boulevard and Miller Avenue just after 1 a.m. on Sunday morning. When they got there, they say they found one person dead in the parking lot of a gas station. So far, there's no word of any arrests. Anyone who saw what happened is asked to call Gresham Police. Portland police arrested a man who is accused of sexually assaulting a teenager. Officers made the arrest Saturday afternoon during a welfare check downtown by the Art Museum near Southwest 10th and Jefferson. Officers say they arrested the 23-year-old suspect without any incident. The Portland Police Sex Crimes Unit is handling this investigation. All right, take a look at this. An apartment complex in southeast Portland suffers some major damage after fire officials say it exploded and caught fire. This happened around 10 o'clock yesterday morning on Southeast 162nd Avenue. Portland Fire and Rescue says huge flames were coming from that building when they got there. They say some of the residents jumped from the second floor of the building where this fire seems to have started. One of those people was transported to the hospital in critical condition. 4 apartments are destroyed. Those residents had to be displaced. One resident we spoke to says they think it was started by fireworks, but the official cause is still under investigation. All right, the further we get into the holiday season, the more we hear about porch pirates stealing packages. Police in Gladstone want people to keep an eye out for this guy. You're going to see him on your screen again right there. They believe he's behind at least 2 incidents where packages were taken. Investigators say he was following a delivery vehicle in what they believe is a newer model Land Rover. They also want to let people know that they can have their packages delivered right to the police department at no extra charge. All right, an update this morning on the local coffee business that aimed to help people keep food on their table during last month's SNAP benefits uncertainty. We're talking about Heretic Coffee. They took to social media over the weekend saying that they've been able to provide more than 100,000 meals thanks to more than 12,000 donors. Last month, they started offering a SNAP breakfast when people were poised to lose food assistance benefits during the government shutdown. And even though the government reopened, Heretic Coffee says they're still offering the SNAP breakfast to anyone who needs a meal, no proof needed. A local business owner says the holiday shopping season has been a good one so far for his business. KGW's Libby Dowsett joins us live in the newsroom with more on this. So Libby, this is a hot sauce company, and it's just one example of many small businesses in the area doing whatever it takes to grab people's attention.
That's right, Drew. David Van Overeem runs Hob Sauce, a local business that just earned Best Hot Sauce Small Batch Company in the world through Old Boney Mountain International. But times have been challenging for small businesses, including Hob, as they deal with unpredictability, tariffs, and inflation. Those at Hobbs say their technique for dealing with small business struggles has been to take things slowly and not grow too quickly over the past 9 years. But the holiday shopping season is crucial, and so far they say they are seeing a good bump in business while attending events like this weekend's My People's Market.
And word of mouth is the biggest thing, and that's why I keep doing all these events, is because you get to actually engage with the public, and that's very important. Because once one person gets it, they show 2 to 3 other people, and then your online sales just start going up and up and up.
Some business owners I talked to at the market saying adapting as quickly as possible to all the changes with wholesale prices and trying to avoid passing those costs on to consumers is big. Those at Hobbs said sometimes you have to lower your expectations, saying the faster a business blows up, the faster it can pop. Drew?
All right, Libby Dowsett live for us there in the newsroom. Thank you, Libby. Big vote coming later today in the Westland-Wilsonville School District. The school board will decide the fate of several schools in that district. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us live outside one of the schools that could be closing with this vote. Good morning there again, Thomas.
Hey, good morning, Drew. Yeah, we're right outside Bolton Primary School, which could be on the chopping block, and some parents say that they were blindsided by this decision. Now, this idea comes just soon after, a few weeks after the school district received $190 million in a bond measure that was approved by voters. All of a sudden, the school board is deciding that they may decide to close some of these schools here. 3 specifically are the ones that parents are concerned about. Besides Bolton, Cedar Oak Park and Stafford Primary School could be closed. Those are the 3 primary schools with the lowest number of students. Though last January, the school board voted unanimously to keep all primary schools open through the end of the 2027 school year. And that big bond measure passed last month was promoted to fund repairs and upgrades at all schools, including these now on the chopping block. That changed after the bond vote when the superintendent laid out a deficit in the budget and recommended shutting down all preschools and closing Stafford and Bolton Primary. Some parents tell us that they weren't completely informed on this decision prior to that bond measure vote, which passed very narrowly, once again giving more than $100 million to the school district for upgrades and repairs. Drew, we're expecting to learn a lot more about what's going to happen with these schools, including Bolton Primary, at a school board meeting tonight. That'll kick off at 6 p.m. Drew?
All right, Thomas, show us with the latest for us live in West Linn this morning. Weather Impact Alert Day here at KGW as we take a live look right now from our Salem Skycam staring at the state capitol building. Just some moisture there on the lens for sure. Lots of rain coming our way. Chris McGinnis, what do you have for us from a forecast standpoint?
Well, potentially several inches of rain, like slam dunk that we get more than 2 inches. Pretty close to a slam dunk, we get more than 3 inches, and now we're talking about maybe 4+ inches of rain common in the Willamette Valley. I've got us in the low 50s right now. Our forecast right now for the Portland, Vancouver metro area and the lower terrain of Multnomah County, Clark County, Washington County, 4 to potentially 7 inches of rain between now and Thursday morning. Occasional gusty wind as well. We could see wind gusts on the order of 30 to 35 miles an hour. That brings in the real risk of down trees, down power lines, and of course, landslides as well. And also, obviously, rises on area rivers and standing water. So a lot to get through here. A flood watch in effect for basically all of western Washington and northwest Oregon from 10 o'clock until 4 o'clock on Friday morning. So a prolonged period of flood concern, and a wind advisory in effect later on this morning as we get a gusty south wind developing a bit later on. Radar right now starting to fill in a little bit. It's primarily light rain. And as we look offshore, generally light rain to start the day. But the fact is it will be a prolonged period of light rain, and then the rain intensity will start to ratchet up a little bit. You'll see that here on Futurecast with the brighter yellows and oranges on the map indicating rainfall rates of a quarter to maybe a half inch an hour for hours at times, especially in the higher terrain of the Coast Range and the Cascades, where the snow levels are going to be real high, over 6,000 feet at a minimum for the next several days. Futurecast again shows that wave of probably the steadiest, heaviest rain coming through late today, tonight, and into the overnight hours. So tomorrow's morning commute, there will be a lot of water on the roads as we wait to watch that first system pass on off to the south. We get a little break in the action Tuesday afternoon, and then the next system comes in Tuesday night and Wednesday with a double shot, basically repeating what we get today and early tomorrow morning. So that's why the flooding concerns will be cumulative and will be exacerbated as we go through the next couple of days. And not only that, but Drew, with the potential of some gusty wind, saturated soils, trees coming down, all of that stuff is possible here over the next couple of days. So a very active stretch of weather coming our way for today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Back to you.